Okay, let's dive in. We're looking at what's being framed as the AI crossroads crisis. And it feels like more than just tech talk, right? It's presented as this huge uh, existential choice.
It really is. The core question is AI going to concentrate power, make a few entities incredibly powerful? Or can it be, a shared public good, accessible to everyone?
That choice feels pretty fundamental for the next century.
Absolutely, because the path we seem to be on now, dominated by closed systems, proprietary data, these massive trillion-dollar infrastructures.
Controlled by just a few big players.
Exactly. That path leads towards what's being called, quite chillingly, digital feudalism.
Digital feudalism. Wow. Okay, unpack that a bit.
Well, think about it. Intelligence itself becomes privatized, owned. If you don't have access to the data, the algorithms, the computing power, you're effectively locked out. The vast majority of the world becomes sort of dependent consumers, not creators, not innovators.
That's a pretty bleak picture. A permanent divide based on who owns the AI. It touches on everything: rights, privacy, local problem solving.
It really does. Yeah. If the best tools are behind a massive paywall or controlled centrally, how can communities tackle their own unique challenges?
So our mission today is to explore an alternative. We're digging into this proposal from EON Reality, the Team Human movement, and their EON Virtual Campus.
Right. They're not just talking philosophy. They're proposing an actual architecture, a system designed to, well, democratize intelligence.
Championing democratization. Okay.
Yeah.
How do they plan to counter this digital feudalism threat?
They've clearly defined the problem, especially the exclusion aspect, and built something intended to tackle it directly.
Let's start with those risks of the closed model, the dystopia path, as they call it. You mentioned exclusion, but there were others.
Yeah. Four main interconnected risks are highlighted. Corporate monopoly risk, pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Global inequality acceleration, AI widening the gap. The human obsolescence threat, people being replaced, not augmented. And the big one, underpinning it all, the 92% exclusion.
92%. That number just jumps out. What does it signify? It's staggering. By 2050, forecasts suggest over 9 out of 10 people will live in the global south. But the current AI models needing expensive licenses, high-end hardware, massive compute power, they effectively log out these populations.
Because of existing gaps.
Yeah.
Education, infrastructure.
Precisely. So the tool that could equalize opportunity actually ends up reinforcing the divides. It deepens that dependency cycle. Innovation happens elsewhere, the benefits flow elsewhere.
It locks in a global imbalance.
That's the core tension, really. AI can concentrate power, make a few richer, or it can distribute power, make everyone smarter. The current trajectory leans heavily towards the first.
Okay, so that's the problem EON Reality is trying to solve. Their virtual campus is pitched as humanity's answer to corporate AI monopolies. That's incredibly ambitious.
It is a huge claim, absolutely, given the dominance of these tech giants.
So how does their approach actually stand a chance? What's different about their architecture? Good question. They're not trying to outspend them on raw power. Their strategy is about ubiquity, access, scale through openness, and crucially radically lower costs.
Okay, so what is the virtual campus, technically?
Think of it as a unified environment. It combines AI, XR, that's extended reality, and open content libraries. It's designed specifically to bypass those tech and cost barriers.
All right, let's break down the key capabilities. I mentioned 3 revolutionary ones. The first is about access, right? Getting it into everyone's hands.
Exactly. Universal access to intelligence. The idea is simple. Remove the barriers, achieve global scale. It's cloud-based, so it scales infinitely. No need for massive local data centers everywhere.
And the access device, not some high-end gear.
Now that's critical. It works on just a smartphone, a tablet, or a low-cost headset. That immediately removes a huge barrier for billions of people. No need for fancy labs or expensive universities just to get started.
And the cost. You mentioned radical reduction.
Yeah, they claim it reduces education costs by over 90%. That's game-changing.
How do they achieve that? And what about the AI itself? Is it just another black box?
Great point. No, they use open-weight AI assistants. This is fundamental. Unlike the closed models where everything is secret, open-weight means the code, the models, can be inspected, modified, customized locally.
So communities aren't just using the AI, they can adapt it, make it culturally relevant.
Precisely. It prevents that centralized control. Intelligence becomes a shared resource, something people can build upon, not just consume.
Okay, so access is solved. Capability 2 connects learning to earning, the immersive skills to income pathway. How does that work?
It's about the whole journey, from learning to job readiness to actually generating income. The skills part uses XR extended reality.
Right, XR, virtual and augmented reality mixed.
Yeah, think immersive 3D lessons. A medical student practices surgery hundreds of times safely. A technician learns solar panel installation in a virtual environment before touching real equipment.
That immersive practice must speed things up significantly. Less risk, more reps.
Exactly. Huge efficiency gain. Then the jobs part uses AI for career mapping, matching skills to local economic needs, not just generic job boards.
Tailored to the community.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And income.
That provides entrepreneurship tools directly within the platform, so people can turn their new skills into local businesses, solving local problems, not just waiting for jobs created somewhere else.
Very practical. Okay, and the third capability, community-driven problem solving. The solve everything movement. It sounds ambitious again.
It does, but it's about shifting from individual learning to collective action, empowering citizens, not just experts or officials,
Wow.
by giving them the AI and XR tools within the virtual campus to design, simulate, and test solutions for their own community's challenges. Food security, climate adaptation, infrastructure,
Right.
whatever the local need is.
So it turns problem solving into a grassroots activity, using advanced tools.
Right. Solutions become locally owned, context-aware, culturally fitting. It aims to turn, as they say, problem density into opportunity density.
Okay, this is a massive vision. How are they actually rolling it out? Is there a roadmap?
Yes, a detailed one, 5 phases, showing its long-term play. Phase 1 is happening now through 2026. That's the initial deployment of the virtual campus in over 50 countries, really focusing on the global south.
Getting the foundation built? And the end goal, phase 5.
That's further out, 2029, 2030. They're aiming for a global human-AI compact, essentially trying to establish this open, democratic model as the worldwide standard for ethical AI deployment.
Wow. A 7-year plan to reshape global tech access.
Wow.
What makes EON think they can pull this off? What's their edge?
2 key things, they argue. First, a human-first architecture. The AI is designed to augment humans, enhance creativity and contribution, not just automate jobs away. That philosophical underpinning is crucial.
So AI as a collaborator, not a replacement.
Exactly. Second, proven scale. This isn't just theory. They've been doing XR deployments for over 25 years. They say they currently serve over 136 million users.
25 years. Okay, that's not insignificant. They're iterating on existing tech, not starting from zero.
Right. They understand deployment in diverse, challenging environments. That experience matters.
Okay, let's make this concrete. The contrast between the closed model and this open one is best seen through examples. You have some use cases.
Absolutely. These stories really illustrate the stakes.
Let's start with Dr. Mara in Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah.
Medical education.
Yeah.
What's her reality in the dystopian closed model?
Okay, so Dr. Amara wants to be a surgeon. Tuition. Maybe $45,000 plus. Access to modern surgical simulators. Likely zero. So what happens? Doctors often have to go abroad for advanced training.
Brain drain.
Massive brain drain. The community loses its best talent. Healthcare suffers perpetually. It's a crisis driven by lack of access.
Now the EON Virtual Campus Utopia version for Dr. Amar?
Access via smartphone. Total cost. Around $300 a year. She practices over 1,000 surgical procedures in immersive XR. She gets personalized feedback from an AI mentor.
Wow.
And get this, the AI speaks her native Yoruba language. So she trains, becomes highly skilled, and stays in Lagos. She serves her community.
That's powerful. They call this healthcare sovereignty. What does that really mean on the ground?
It means Lagos retains its medical talent. It means they aren't dependent on foreign experts who might leave. It's about building self-sufficiency in healthcare, producing and keeping high-quality expertise locally.
Okay, next days. Raj, in rural Rajasthan, India. Renewable energy training. Dystopian path.
The nearest proper technical college is, say, 300 kilometers away. Too far, too expensive for most. So young people leave. The village relies on polluting, expensive diesel generators. No local skills for solar.
Energy poverty, talent loss, the usual story, and the EON alternative for Raj.
He uses a shared tablet at the local community center, completes his solar technician certification using immersive XR for all the hands-on practice, installation, maintenance, troubleshooting.
All virtual practice first.
Right. Then he immediately starts a local solar maintenance business, trains 15 other young people, and uses the Solve Everything tools to design a better solar-powered irrigation system for local farms.
That's energy sovereignty, moving from dependence to local creation, local wealth.
Exactly. Local problems, local solutions, local benefit.
Last one, Lynn in rural Vietnam. Female entrepreneurship, the barriers she faces in the standard model.
Immense. Traditional business schools, inaccessible physically and financially. Bank loans. Forget it, without formal credentials she can't get. E-commerce platforms, they take huge cuts, 30–40% extracting value. Her potential is stifled.
So talent wasted, profits siphoned off, the EON path for Lim.
She accesses the EON Entrepreneur Guide on her phone, practices management, negotiation, logistics, and XR simulations, connects directly to global fair trade networks via the platform.
And the funding barrier.
This is key. She gets microfinancing based on her demonstrated competence in the simulations and her business plan built within the campus, not based on traditional, often inaccessible credentials.
Based on skill, not just paper. What happens?
Her revenue jumps 400% in the first year. She employs 8 other local women. She becomes a mentor. It's gender empowerment, economic growth, and even helps preserve local crafts and culture through innovation.
These examples really paint a picture. It's not just about learning, it's about agency, self-determination, independence.
Precisely. And for you, the listener, thinking about skilling up or changing careers, the direct benefits are quantifiable.
Let's hear them.
Okay, a 90% reduction in cost compared to traditional paths. Think 50,000 versus maybe a few hundred thousand.
That alone opens doors. What about time?
A 60% faster time to employable competency. We're talking months, not years, to get certified and ready for the market.
Faster and cheaper. Any impact on earnings?
They report a 25% to 45% salary premium compared to traditional grads in the same fields. Why? Because the XR-based practical training makes people much more job ready from day one. Less ramp-up time for employers.
So cheaper, faster, potentially higher earning. That's compelling for an individual learner. Zooming back out to the global picture, this brain gain idea.
Yeah, that's the macro goal, flipping the script. Instead of developing nations losing their best minds and just consuming tech from elsewhere.
They become innovation hubs themselves.
Exactly. They keep their talent. They attract talent. They use these tools, the AI, the XR, the network, to solve their own unique problems, becoming leaders, not followers, achieving genuine technological sovereignty.
It fundamentally challenges that global power dynamic, moving away from dependency.
When communities can design and build their own solutions, they're not waiting for aid or generic fixes from outside. They own their future.
The whole argument seems to rest on this core idea, treating intelligence not as a private asset, but as a shared public good.
Which flips the script on knowledge creation itself. The old way, reinforced by closed AI, is scarcity data locked up, algorithms secret.
Proprietary knowledge is power.
Right. The EON model pushes for abundance, an open knowledge library, growing through collaboration, where sharing knowledge actually multiplies its value exponentially.
Okay, so that leads us to a final thought for you, the listener, to mull over.
If this shift from knowledge scarcity to knowledge abundance, driven by democratic AI, can potentially transform education, healthcare, energy, technology.
If it can challenge the status quo in those massive global systems, what other major global system currently built heavily on scarcity or controlled access might be the next one ripe for this kind of democratic transformation? Something to think about.